Okay, so what's going on? It's been a while, at least a while. Welcome back if you're just tuning in and you're a returning follower or a returning viewer. I do definitely appreciate it. I'm getting back to my roots tonight. Ironically, I actually just got off the phone with, of all people, my girlfriend, who told me that I should just, go for what I feel like. And tonight I felt like flying. I talked to a couple of my friends, and I'd said earlier in the day that I really feel like flying today, but I was a little worried. I'd had a couple of Bud Light Platinums and all that stuff, and lo and behold, the significant other said, "Hey, well, go for it. You never know what you're gonna get until you actually go for it." So here we are. Yeah, I've had a couple of beers. Oh well, we'll see how well or how adversely that affects me in the pit. Tonight is different. Tonight's gonna be a night unlike other nights. I'm gonna be in a game that I haven't been in a while, and I'm just getting back into it. But believe it or not, this game or sim is what I very first started streaming with. It's got a special place in my heart. You know, I started my Twitch career, if you want to call it that. I started my Twitch endeavors on Falcon BMS, and well, I should say I started it with the whole flight aspect. I started with Flight Sim and Falcon BMS to be exact. So it's only right every once in a while to get back to the roots. Sorry as I adjust things here. Um, it's I love playing GTA 5 and some of the others, and I was thinking about getting into GTA 5 and doing a little bit of LSPDFR tonight. But after I started thinking about it, I was like, man, I'm gonna have to update everything because it's been a long, long time since I've gone into GTA 5. Now I'm gonna have to update absolutely everything that I have in GTA 5 mod wise. So I was like, well, what else could I do that would be somewhat entertaining to people, or I should say entertaining to people, and still be able to interact to a point and still have fun? Well, I kind of mixed it all together and decided, why not go back to my roots? The very first game that I decided to stream on Twitch was Falcon BMS. And after one of my buddies, Hammer, was getting ready to do a flight earlier, and things didn't work out on that end as far as what was going on, communication issues, and just people getting connected to their server and doing the stream. I was like, well, I still want to do something today. I still want to try to fly, or I want to do a stream of some sort. I'm going to want to get streaming again, try to get back on the pattern. I was like, well, why not take it back to the roots? So here we are, almost 9 o'clock Eastern time, and I'm going to try to make a fool out of myself inside a sim that I haven't flown in a very long time, and frankly, that I haven't been super good at ever. So, but nevertheless, I guess that's all in the eye of the beholder. I may not be super good in standards of some people as far as people that have flown in Falcon BMS for a long time, but when it comes to people that have never flown in the sim, even the most mediocre or even the most amateur pilots are look like pros. And I do kind of pride myself in the fact that I know what I'm doing as far as flight is concerned. Systems wise, as a few of my buddies and I were talking about earlier, yeah, I've got some work to do. But who doesn't? Honestly, there's systems that you have to learn all the time, and there's elitists out there. Well, yeah, I can shoot you down anytime I want, and I can fly circles around you, and oh, I fly circles around people all the time, and oh, I shot down this many people, and blah 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 blah. Bragging about how good they are, but that's not what it's about. Honestly, Are you still having fun? You know, that's the whole philosophy behind it. If you're not, like, if you're just doing it to rub it in people's faces, what's the fun in that? You know, it might be fun to some people, but it's not fun to the people getting put down. So, you know, let's take it a step further. Let's take a mediocre pilot who might not be the best at shooting people down, but has a good heart, has a good head on his shoulders, and knows what he's doing to a point to where he can actually fly and isn't going to rub it in other people's faces. So take that. All right. So anyways, we're in a briefing screen, and you know, there's unfortunately no way to make this briefing screen a whole lot bigger for you. I might be able to, let's see. Can I edit this? Yeah, see, I can't really expand it because we're already at the maximum size for the screen. But nevertheless, it's making some weird gestures up there too. But nevertheless, this is a briefing screen. What we're going to is, you know, a position like this, zoom out here and show you kind of our flight path. As a matter of fact, you know, let's go ahead and we'll flick it over to the main here. Oh, that's weird. Let's see. If I click on here, if it shows you. No, it doesn't. Oh, that's whoops, sorry. That's rather odd. Okay, well, let's see here. Falcon BMS. Let's refresh her. Let's see what we've got. Well, that's odd. Let's do monitor and see. Huh. Okay. Yeah, I had this issue before too. It just doesn't like it. So let's see if I can do. Let's see, there's game capture. Let's undo that and there we go. So I'll go ahead and let you see my desktop for a moment here. It's not really a big deal. So anyways, here's what's going on. We got Falcon BMS here, which is a F-16 sim. And we're going to be doing a flight. You know, I'm not going to make it too long because I don't want to burn myself out. And as my track IR just keeps trolling me here. And I don't want to burn you guys out either because, you know, frankly, I know that just, you know, flying around in a pattern or whatever might not be fun to you. But nevertheless, I'm going to see if we can, if we can make the most of this and get the best we can here. I'm going to try to do something here as well. Let's do the standard, the minimal overlay, so it's not blocking too much of the screen. Actually, you know what? I don't think it really matters a whole lot in this. Yeah, so we'll get rid of that one. Yeah, there we go. So basically, if you can see the screen here, I know it's kind of small. It does this when it's in windowed mode for some reason. Basically, our flight path, we're going to take off from Kunsan, or Kunsan, however you want to say it, in South Korea. And we'll be departing from this little area right here, if you can see my little F-16 pointer. Yeah, we'll be going about 33.7 miles to steer point 2. We're going to fly out. We're going to try to get to, well, I don't know if we'll go to steer point 3 or not. We might turn off at around steer point 2. As a matter of fact, we might even fly up straight and go up more along the lines by Sapid here, if that's how you say it. And we might veer off to the west and head out to the tanker, because I definitely want to do a tanker or a tank run. It's got kind of a weird track. You know, it's got decent tracks here, but fairly short tracks right here. So we'll see how that goes. I believe there's only one tanker stationed on this one. Yeah, there's AWACS and a tanker. So we're only going to be able to do one tanking sortie. But that's my weak point. And I'll straight up admit it. My weak point is tanking. So I want to do some tanking tonight. And I would be honored if you join me and stick in through it, and we'll probably do some basic flight maneuvers and stuff like that along the way. But bear with me. It's kind of part of the role of being a good viewer, good follower, is supporting the person that's streaming. And definitely this is the sim that brought it all together. This is a sim that I started off on. So I'm gonna raise my mic up because that just helps while I'm in game here. And we're gonna get things rolling. We're gonna do a ramp start. Take it all the way from the beginning, because that just increases the immersion. And start it up from cold and dark and take her up here. Yeah, as I told one of my buddies, it's like, you know what? I might just watch a movie tonight and then go to bed. But then I started thinking about it. Like, I don't want to go to bed yet. I kind of want to do some flying, and we were talking about some DCS, which is another sim. I was like, I don't have DCS right now, but well, I do, but I don't even really honestly know how to start the thing up. So at the moment, it's not gonna help me. I figured might as well do a little bit of stuff in BMS. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and alt tab here, see if I can get game capture to work. Because to be honest, it's what we need is actual game capture. No, okay, so BMS is just gonna crash. That's really weird. All right, so we're gonna do regular monitor capture for now because it just trolled me hardcore. So let's do monitor capture. That'll work for now. We don't need any hardcore trolling tonight. Let's get the rudder pedals set up because I didn't do that in the first place anyway. So hey, everything happens for a reason, right? There we go. Now we can get the rudder pedals all set up and ready to go. All right. Yeah, I've got a new flight stick now too, and it's really cool. I mean, oh, did I not? I don't think I applied that. All right, let's do that. Let's go to setup again. All right, smart scaling's back on. Attack engagement. We want IQT1. Go ahead and commit there. Go ahead and stop that guy and we'll get into the lead position. I'm normally not lead. Let's set our skin. Really like that one. That one's really sweet. Like the red tail and everything. I think somebody said don't pick the one with the red stripe, but I don't care. Let's go ahead and set our comms. Save it. Alright. I think we're good. We'll go ahead and ramp. We'll see if we can get this working this time. So anyways, earlier, my buddy and I were talking about it, and I was like, yeah, I think I'm just going to go to bed early. I'm going to hit sack, and I don't know if I feel like doing anything. But, I still had that urge to fly, and I saw Top Gun in my iTunes movie library. I was like, oh, man, I'm still really hardcore in the mood to fly, so... Hey, Remnant, what's going on, man? You caught me at a interesting time, man. Going back to my roots. The absolute roots. It's definitely not anything that you'll be used to seeing me play This is, believe it or not, this is actually the very first thing that I ever streamed on Twitch. Some buddies and I were messing around. I was part of a virtual flight squadron, and where have I been? Oh, working, man. Just working, 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 and more working. It's like, I get done with a work week, and I'm like, okay, well, this weekend sorry, whoa, sorry, viewpoints all over the place. I'll think, I'm gonna actually do some streaming, and then like something happens, and I have to go out of town, or I have to take care of the car or whatever else. So it's real life, but we're getting back to it. No, 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 no. I have streamed a few times in the meantime. Like I did a stream last week. I didn't save any highlights, and I've been actually deleting the past broadcasts because for some reason, like last week, my computer was having an issue. I don't know what was going on, but my graphics were all over the place. So, all right, let's see. If the track IR is, like, if the screen movement's a little jerky, I apologize. It shouldn't be, but all right. So this is one of the very first games that I ever streamed on Twitch. So this is like really nostalgic for me, and it's really, I just kind of like killed the community here, because whoa, my wingman is starting his engines already. But nevertheless, this is the very first thing that I streamed, and we don't ever, like, in this community, we don't ever call it a game. We call it a sim, because this is definitely far from a game. Falcon BMS is 100% study sim. It takes tons of hours of reading to get the hang of this. All right, using a joystick. Yeah. As a matter of fact, here, let's see. Let me zoom out for a sec, and I will show you exactly what I'm using. Let's see. New window. Other monitor, of course. All right. Let's see. I am using, if it'll actually load. Here we go. This is my flight stick. And whoops. Let's see if I can. I didn't even add that to hardware. Usually it's on my channel page, but I haven't even added that to hardware. So ignore the actual ignore the flight stick portion of this. Whoops. What did I just do? Oh, I think the beer's kicking in. There we go. Ignore the flight stick, or the the flight stick portion of this, and look at just the throttle. I'm using the throttle from the X52. I'm using the flight stick from the Warthog, which is actually standalone. It's actually an Air Force replica, which is really sweet. And then, oops. Yeah, I hear you. It's Saturday. We've had a few Bud Light Platinums, so is this it? Yeah, there we go. And then to kind of top it off, those are my rudder pedals. And let's see. One last product. Yeah, you can tell this is like why it's back to the roots. Because this is what I'm set up for. This is like my true style. This is, what I very first started streaming for. Anyway, so I've got the track IR, which actually tracks my head movement. That's why anytime I turn my head, you actually see it in game. And my like wingman's gonna kill me here. Cause oops. Oh, I just hit something I shouldn't have. Oops. Alright. Alright, your screen's gonna blink just for a sec. Because I have two cursors and that's gonna drive me mad. Alright. So let me go ahead and start all the way up here. So anytime I move my head and move my head around, you actually see it moving in the cockpit. That's what the track IR does. Which is pretty cool. Yeah, I mean it's a lot of money sunk into it. Oh, did he? Yeah. Right, yeah. Well, if he had the stick and the pedals and everything like that, then he was pretty hardcore into it. Like, yeah, you know, when you start doing this stuff, there's no cutting corners. You have to go all out or do nothing. Cause like, I mean, I've seen some guys, you know, and this is like a bare minimum setup, believe it or not. I love that tag right there. That tag is what makes it all worth it. General Dynamics F16, yes sir. Just screams power. Oh. Yeah, I know, bad Tim Allen grunt. All right. So, anyways, like, yeah, you know, this is like a bare minimum setup too, which is funny because like, there's people out there that actually build replica cockpits, and there's actually the fighter squadron or the virtual fighter wing that I'm a part of. They actually have all that stuff. They have like the full. Some of them have like the full cockpit. One guy is actually building a cockpit from scratch. All right, this might get a little loud. Starting her up. They'll get quiet in a sec. Let's watch our indicators. I'm watching this here to see when it gets to 20%. There we go. We're about there. We'll click this guy. We'll bring the throttle in. Come on. There's a sweet spot in there. There it goes. And then we'll get a good start. Make sure we're good over here. Alright, so this is the basic setup here. So let's so it's basically going to be a little bit of talking for a few minutes here. Sorry if it's a little boring, because some of this stuff is like so true to life. Redtail 1-1 checking in backup 6. Good guy. Alright. So, no, I'm not flying with anybody. It's just good practice to, like, actually say something on the comms. And what I was doing is talking on one of the radios. That sound right there. That's the sound of actually clicking in on the radio. So I'm on backup 1. That's what that guy means right there. Let's go ahead and we're going to switch upfront controls. And we should get a full display here. Yep, 15 steer point 1. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and get this back to HSD. Alright, so now what we have to do is wait for this number right here, the INS 1.4 it's on right now. And we have to wait for it to basically get to 8. So it's going to be a little bit of talking. Watching Poltergeist? Oh, okay, good. Cool. Oh, yeah, it's been one of those months. This week in particular. This past week has been really interesting. I work at a school. And alright, let's get the alignment done. I work at a school, and there's always interesting things that are happening. I'm the network administrator / maintenance director, so I wear multiple hats at that place. Like, I'm always on call and all that stuff, so it's always fun. Well, this past week, normally everything's a-okay and everything's good, but this past week was kind of interesting because I had an 8th grader at lunchtime, actually threaten me. And yeah, it made things a little interesting. Like, what do you do in a situation like that? I mean, obviously I'm an adult and they're still kids, so they have to respect adults, but this guy didn't think that was the case. He thought, he was A-okay and he could basically just disrespect anybody he wants. So, yeah, it made for an interesting rest of the week, because after that happened, principals and all that had to find out what exactly was going on, and oh yeah, it was fun. So, oh man, I need to get a different headrest. Well, if you want to see the outside of the jet, I love the skin. Let's see if it works. Oh yeah, I know. Well, and especially that age, like 8th grade, that's 14 to 15 years old. And I understand, like, I totally understand, they're at that age where they're just hating life, I mean, I'm sure you remember what that age was like, you're just going through all kinds of stuff, you're hitting your prime, or like your young prime and all that, and, there's a lot of changes going on in your body, a lot of changes going on in your mind, so it's like, I totally get it, I get that point, and I even told the kid, look, man, I get it. You're just going through all kinds of stuff. But that doesn't give you the right to disrespect people that are like double your age, if not more. Well, in that case, more. So it's like, this kid he flew off the handle. And I tried to explain to him, look, just because you're having an altercation with somebody doesn't give you the right to disrespect me. But it that is true. They do think that they can get away with anything and everything, and nothing will happen to them. But yeah, this kid, basically what happened was, there was a kid instigating. Of course, that's how it always happens. Somebody was instigating trouble. Do I have wing bags? Oh yeah, I do. Somebody was instigating trouble. I guess they were just causing trouble and, like, picking on him, or not picking, but like just being stupid, like grabbing him and like poking him and stuff like that. Well, this kid grabs the other kid by the shirt, almost like lifts him up in the air and says, I'm gonna deck you right now. Well, I'm in the lunchroom. I'm a lunchroom monitor. It's kind of my job to make sure things go smooth in there on top of everything else. And I was like, hey, whoa. Put the kid down right now. Let go of him and sit down. He turns and, like, he's still got the kid held with one arm. And he turns and he points right in my face and he says, yeah, you want me to put him down? Sure, after I punch this kid in the face. While he's pointing directly in my face, I was like, now you can drop him and go down to the office for insubordination and disrespect. And the kid looks at me, looks me up and down. He's like, you're a network dude. You're like a network dude and a janitor. You think I have to listen to you? I was like, oh, you're done, dude. You are absolutely done. And these kids, they don't realize it. Yeah, I might be a network admin and the maintenance guy, and in their minds, like, quote, the janitor, even though we have an actual janitor. But what they don't realize is that, like, I'm good buddies with the principal. It's like, hello, wake up, McFly. Oh, Lord. Yeah, the only problem with doing that, you grab them. If you so much as even touch a kid now, he probably would have had his mom sue us in a heartbeat. So, no, I just got the principal. I texted him. I've got him on speed dial, for crying out loud. We're in the same building. It's like, these kids forget that. They think that because I'm a network admin and the maintenance director of all people. So it's like anything maintenance-wise is going to go through me. And who do you think I have to get approval from when I have a maintenance topic? Let's see here. It's not going to be a 4th grade teacher. Definitely not going to be the 8th grade teacher. Oh, bing, bing, bing. It's the principal, because the principal and I talk on a daily basis in regards to the network and the maintenance of the building. So we're actually good buddies. And 2 and 2 didn't make a connection. So nevertheless, the kid's been suspended for 4 days. It's like, he's like, oh, nothing's going to happen. I'm like, wow, man. You're either ignorant and or seriously just dense. One of the two, maybe both. You never know. Alright, so we're at 7.7. I'm just itching to fly here. Maybe that's the point. Like, maybe he'll learn. I don't know. The problem is, I've talked to the school social worker, and yeah, I hope not. I hope for his sake he does learn and that he gets over it and everything. But I don't know. Like, I talked to the school social worker, and she didn't have very high regards for him either, which that's never good. Yeah, that's true. Well, and honestly, they can't really... I work at a charter school, which is a little different than a public school. We have a little more authority, and, the kids are all required to wear uniforms. The sad part, though, is they can't really do a whole lot. A lot of... obviously, discipline is on the parents. That's not on the principal or the teachers. How the kids are raised, that's all dependent on how the parents teach them. But they can do some things at school because that's where they spend most of their time. Sadly, though, they can't really do a whole lot. All right, it's gonna get loud just for a second. We're not loud, but
Vapor 1-1, copy.
Let's get the QNH.
On approach 3065.
Oh, we're above. 3065. Counselor at-risk students, and she tries to help everyone. Oh no, I hear you. She would probably be able to relate, because that's kind of how it is here. We have a lot of, unfortunately, I hate to say it that way, but we do have a lot of bad apples at the school I work at. And this is so tough because we're technically not a school that's considered like a school for underprivileged kids, but a lot of parents and the admissions and enrollment kind of treat it as such. So it's like
Vapor 1-1, copy.
It's like it's not an underprivileged school, but it's a school for last chances. So a lot of these kids have already gotten in trouble. So all right, tower's contacting again.
Vapor 1-1, ready for departure.
Vapor 1-1, taxi, runway 36. Hold short.
Okay, 36. Let's go ahead and get this show on the road. Been sitting here waiting for everything to align long enough. Alright. 36 is down at the other end, I believe. Find out here. You know what, yeah, alright. So we have to turn right. What we're gonna wonder. No, we have to normally turn right. I want to see if I can taxi out to the next taxiway. Alright. Man, it's been a while since I flew this. And in the custom theater on top of that. It actually feels I'm kind of proud to be flying in this theater.
Vapor 1-1, Kunshan Tower. You are cleared for takeoff. Runway 36.
Oh, you know what? I'm technically at 36. We're going to do an intersection. Alright. So intersection basically just means that we're taking off from halfway down the runway. That shouldn't be too heavy. Alright. There we go. We'll wait for our wingman to line up here. Oh, you know what? He's not going to line up. Yeah, no, he wants me to go down to the very end. I forgot. The AI don't like intersection departures. Okay, so we gotta go back all the way out to the taxiway. If I was flying with a real life pilot or a human pilot, it'd be different, but... Yeah, I know, AI. You're pissy. Alright, let's get this turn done. The rudder pedals, I'm still getting used to using rudder pedals. I just got this flight stick like last weekend, so I'm kind of learning, and I didn't want to do any streams until I was a little more confident in the jet. It's been a long time, like 2 years since I've been in this sim, so I'm still a little bit rusty, but getting back into it pretty easily. Alright. Oh, you'd watch streams of this? Me and others flying? Oh, well, there'll probably be that in a while.
Baker 1-1, Kunsan Tower, expedite departure.
Yeah. I'm in a training program right now. Like, the virtual fighter wing that I was a part of, a couple of years ago, they have a policy where, after you've been away for a while, you have to go back through training all over again. Well, like the head or the commander of the wing, he did actually tell me, hey, if you want to come back in, you're more than welcome to come back in. But if you want to skip through IQT, which is the initial qualification training, one of my buddies who I've known for a very long time, well, actually, he's one of the guys that streams on here with me, or like is usually in my streams, Falcon. He's an outstanding pilot, really, really, really good at these sims. And he's in the wing, and so the commander said, if you want, just have him...
1-1,
Shut up, lady. Yeah, the problem is you talking. So the commander basically said, if you want, have Falcon go ahead and take you through and teach you everything. Well, I'm not like that. I want to do everything by the book, and I like learning. I'm like a sponge that way. I love learning new things. So I'm going back through IQT, the initial qualification training again, just to get the hang of it and kind of relearn everything. They're doing things differently now, so I want to know how they do it. But yeah, I'm thinking about, like, maybe the next time. One of the reasons that I'm actually streaming tonight is to see how well it goes and, like, see how good it looks. So let me know how good it looks, how good it sounds, and how everything is on the screen. I know it's not 1080p, unfortunately, because of my bandwidth, but let me know how everything looks, because if it's decent and it's not too jerky, then my next training flight, I'll see if I can actually stream it.
1-1, is there a problem?
Yeah, I'm taking a drink of cherry Coke. That's my problem, Tower. All right. Obviously, like, things like that, where I'm actually doing training flights, it'll be a little bit less interactive as far as talking to the stream, just because I have to focus on the actual training. But nevertheless, you still get the immersion, and like the next one is actually going to be fun because we're actually going to use live weapons. So in this flight tonight, I'm probably not going to be arming any weapons. Alright, let's see here. We'll get lined up. I'll read your chat in just a second. Concentrating on lining up here. Okay, parking brake. Pretty good stream, not having any jerkiness or lags or anything. No problems when you look at the sounds of the... Oh, okay, good. Yeah, because earlier it was like jumping all over the place. Like, whenever I would turn my head, the viewpoint was actually skipping. But like right now I'm noticing that it's not doing that. Oh, look at that. My wingman's off to my right there, ready to go. Alright, so now what we do is we go... normally they would say run them up. They don't do that anymore. That basically says 80% of your military power, which is full power but not afterburner. Instead, they do this, which is 2 zippers of the mic. Let me go ahead and give you a look at the actual jet. It's going to be loud just for a second. These guys are pretty. I love the paint scheme on this. Grim Reaper's 414th Virtual Fighter Squadron.
Vapor 1-1, is there a problem?
Nice F-16. We got 2 wing tanks. And that's my jet. And there's my wingy. He's got the blinking lights. Alright, back in the pit. Let's go ahead and get this guy off the road. Signifying the actual run-up. We get to 80% of power. And we look around, make sure everything's good. Everything's good there. Get a nice back. And at this point, we're going to watch, make sure our jet's stable. Brakes off. Mill power. And the 3 clicks basically signify that we're rolling. And then when we get to 100 knots, 100 knots,
Vapor 1-1,
we disable nose wheel steering.
Traffic.
Oh, shut up, lady. We're going to do a 170. Nice, easy 5 degree. And the wheels
Vapor
on.
1, Kunsan Tower, resume on navigation.
Where are you going, dude? My wingman just like freaking straight up shot past me.
airborne.
Alright, so we're going to push steer point 2. Wait for my wingman to do whatever the heck it is he's doing. Yeah, I know, those emblems are sweet. I absolutely love them. I've got a reference on my second monitor now here too, so I can actually see. We're going to go ahead. We're in what's called burner, so I can show you here in a sec once I get stabilized. That's our afterburner. Sorry, I know it's kind of loud. It's quiet in the front. Took off from back there. There we are. Hauling away, 500 knots. Get up to about 10,000. Nice view of South Korea here. The scenery or the terrain is a little bit outdated. That's just what we call a falconism. They're working on it. They're going to be updating it. And this sim is actually free. Granted, you're supposed to have Falcon 4.0, the original. Oh, I'm past 10,000. Out of burner. Way past 10,000. Alright, let's level her out. Feet off the rudder pedals so I don't disorient. And we're going to go ahead and center line our altimeter. 29er and 9er 2. Okay. Alright. Let's see if my wingman can get in. Oh, you know what? What's going on? My flight control radar or fire control radar is in wrong mode. Let's go ahead and get our data link on. There we go. Now we can see our number 2. We're going to go ahead and call the tanker early.
Sentry 1, Vapor 1-1.
There's our
Request
wingman.
vector to tanker. Vapor 1, Sentry 1, tanker Camel 1, bearing 260, 100 miles. Back-end channel, 29er Yankee.
29er Yankee on the yardstick, thank you. We're going to go ahead and go 29er, enter 0, enter, and switch over. We're 100 miles away. Wow. Alright, let's go ahead and get the wingy in closer. being a little bit of a wuss right
Vapor
now.
1-2, close up formation. Vapor 1-2, Vapor 1-2, close up formation.
Okay.
Vapor 1-2, close up formation.
Alright, now I need to find
2,
out
closing up.
what he said again as far as direction.
Sentry 1, Vapor 1-1, request vector to tanker. Vapor 1, Sentry 1, tanker, Camel 1, bearing 255, 100 miles. Tack and channel, 29 Yankee.
255. Alright. Where's my wingman? Oh, there he is. Coming up slow. Why is that? Okay. Nightbot is a little off tonight. I think he's been drinking more than
2,
me.
in position.
You think that's in position, dude? You're like, hi. Getting closer.
Vapor 1-2, close up formation.
Wingtip, Thunderbird
2,
style,
I
dude.
think we're close enough. 2, in
Oh,
position.
he's scared. I don't blame him. I'd be scared too. I get freaked out when I have to fly this close to people. Honestly, that's called fingertip formation, and it really is scary. Alright, 255. We're making left. A little up on the back pressure. Rolling left. There you go. I love doing formations like this. Just looks so sweet. You can just hear Danger Zone playing in the background. Oops, except I'm descending. Wingman sticking on pretty well. Let's kick it over to a 60 combat turn. A rolling 6-0. AI wingmen are awesome. Regular wingmen are awesome too, I shouldn't say that. Yeah, the only problem is that's Navy. Top Gun is Navy. Oops, I got my feet on the rudder pedals again. And like, we need an Air Force song, because the F-16 is strictly Air Force. But yeah, anything flight, anything combat flight, you always think Top Gun. I mean, come on. Alright, 255, rolling out. Slowly 1-2. And I know it sounds weird, but the slow comms like that, that's actually... Sometimes when you're doing slow formations like this, they actually do that. And the reason for that is the slow comms help people coordinate. You'll hear, like, if you ever watch the Thunderbirds or the Blue Angels, if they ever, like, you know, that one time when they let you hear their comms, that's why they do it, so everybody can align properly. It's like, you know, rolling 1, 2, 3, pull, pull, pull. That's giving an audible indicator of how hard to pull on the stick. So it sounds weird, but yeah, highway to the danger zone, literally. I love that song. I was actually thinking of watching Top Gun tonight, but I was like, you know what, I want to do a flight first. I want to stream it. I haven't streamed it in a while. Alright, let's have a little bit of fun. Let's get the picture again and find where our tanker is.
Sentry 1, Vapor 1-1. Request vector to tanker.
Alright, well...
Vapor 1, Sentry 1, tanker, Camel 1, bearing 250, 100 miles.
No, I don't...
Back end channel, 29 Yankee.
Hold on, I missed the direction. I actually don't have, I don't have song requests. I used to. Hold on. I don't know what's up with Nightbot tonight. It said that all of my timers weren't working properly. Alright. There's that. There's that. There's that. Alright. Now it's good. No, I used to have song request. I don't have it on now. Because it's kind of hard to get copyright permissions. Oh, hold on. We gotta flip every once in a while here. It's hard to get copyright permissions and all that for song requests. I used to before they started, like, cracking down on song requests and all that. Alright, let's get the vector to the tanker.
Sentry 1, Vapor 1-1. Request vector to tanker. Vapor 1, Sentry 1, Tanker, Camel 1, bearing 250, 80 miles. Tack-down
Okay.
channel, United Yankee.
We're still 80 miles out. Alright. 250. Yeah, it's because of copyright and all that. It's, you know, it's really stupid, but I don't do moving clowns. Alright, let's have a little bit of fun. We're gonna... Alright. 2, rolling over. Into... Nice, stabilized, inverted. And pull on 3, 2, 1. This is known as the split S maneuver. Oh. Yeah, that's the tanks going nuts.
Altitude. Altitude.
Because I have wing tanks, they make weird noises. Let's make sure everything's good. Let's see. FMS. Well, that's fine. We don't need to worry about the FMS. I did damage something on the FMS, but whatever. Jumped at the little... A little bit of PTSD in that movie. Oh, crap. Now I'm, Alright. That's good. I'm going the wrong way. I forgot. We need to go back to 255. Let's burn her on up. Alright, so we are at 9,700 on a fuel, I think 8,600 actually. Burn her up and get off to the tanker. Okay, 230. We're still like 100 miles away, so let's set this guy. 75 miles away. Totally forgot that I had wing bags. Tree just grabbed the kid. Oh, didn't you say it's like Poltergeist? I think that's kind of the point of Poltergeist, is to freak you out a bit. Alright, let's get the picture again.
Sentry 1, Vapor 1-1. Request vector to tanker. Vapor 1, Sentry 1, Tanker, Camel 1, bearing 265, 80 miles. Tack-down channel, United Yankee.
Yeah, it says we're 68 miles, not 80 miles. And I'm not picking anything up on my fire control radar yet. Oh, there it is. We just had him. Well, still. It's still Poltergeist, though. Alright, I just had this guy on the radar. Why are we not getting him? Maybe 265. About 24,000. We should be picking them up. Come on. Pick up the tanker. Oh, missed him. Let's see if we can pick him up here. Oh, where are you at, dude? Why are we not picking you up? No, I don't want dogfight over there. TWS. I should be picking them up for sure by now.
Sentry 1, Vapor 1-1. Request vector to tanker. Vapor 1, Sentry 1, tanker, Camel 1, bearing 260, 50 miles. Tack and channel, 29 Yankee.
Oh, there he is. Okay, let's try to lock him. There we go. Alright, we got him locked up single mode in TWS, which does not let him know, it doesn't indicate it. 45 miles. We'll go ahead and get in there. And we're going to go ahead and go burner, just to get closer. So he is heading to our 11 o'clock. So we're actually on a pretty good intercept. The wingman's falling back. Well, this is always the interesting part right here, is connecting up or rendezvousing with the tanker and then actually taking fuel. So we're going to hope that he doesn't enter any turns. Make sure he stays straight and level. I have a hard time connecting to him when he's kind of like turning. Oh, wingman caught up. Good man. If you're just joining, I know it's a boring flight, just kind of doing some flying around, no shooting or anything like that today. Just practicing in the F-16. Oh, feed off the stupid rudder pedals. Wingman's falling back again. Yeah, flying with human players, though, is always fun. Like, Falcon and Hammer, the other two guys that I play other games with, they're actually really big into the combat simulators as well. And I'm sure, now that I'm back into it, like, that's actually, like, Falcon and Hammer, this is, like, their primary thing. Like, they are, like, built for doing combat simulators. So now that I'm back into it, you're going to see a lot more streams of actual like combat sim and Falcon BMS and DCS, which is Digital Combat Simulator and all that. So, all right, we're getting in there, 21 miles. So it's crunch time. Come on, wingman, get in there. Good man. Alright, we're coming up on him. Looks like he just entered a turn. Maybe. Oh no, we're actually off to his side. Actually, he's heading right towards us, it looks like. Yeah, so we're gonna have to do an intercept here. Yeah, we do both. We have air-to-air and we have air-to-ground. Alright, we're like merging with this guy, which is not what we want, Oh wait, no, we're behind them. Okay. 17 miles. All right, Wingy. Yeah, we have air to air and air to ground. I'm only carrying air to air, like the missiles on my wing there. That's two 120s, which are or 120Cs, which are long range missiles, and then the one with the green tip is an AIM-9X, which is a sidewinder missile, mostly for shorter range air to air. So I'm in an air to air setup right now. And the big tanks, I don't know if you can see them, like you can see the little red circle at the top there. Those tanks are actually they're wing tanks for fuel. But we normally can carry bombs as well, and I mean, like, even beyond those, we can carry like 6 to 12 bombs on top of that. And we have laser guided. We also have what we call cluster bombs, dumb bombs, you know, you name it, and we can carry it. Provide CAS, or is it just destroying objectives? Well, in BMS, it's mostly destroying objectives and, like, destroying... he's turning all over the place. It's mostly destroying objectives and destroying, like, SA-2s, which are SAM sites. Okay, we're gonna have to do some fancy flying here. SAM sites, air-to-air missiles, and things like that. As well as, you know, maybe bridges or ships. But if you mean like actual people, like troops on the ground, no. We don't do that because Falcon BMS doesn't have any troops on the ground. I mean, there's simulated troops like tank columns and, you know, jeeps and things like that, but it's not like Digital Combat Simulator or DCS World that has like, or ARMA even, where you have like, you know, ground troops and all that. It may eventually get to that point, but at this point, no. Alright, so we're lined up behind the tanker. This is like concentration time. So I'm actually going to be... I'll probably still be talking, but I need to focus on hooking up because this is one of the absolute hardest things to do in this sim. Okay, we're 1.5 miles away. Let's go ahead and call the tanker and request fuel.
Camel 1-1, Vapor 1-1. Request clearance to refuel. Vapor 1-1, Camel 1-1, clear to pre-contact position.
Pre-contact, that's our go-ahead to move in. 300 knots, stable at 22,500. We'll go ahead and move down because he's going to be going 300. And we'll start opening our fuel door. Time now. I'm not joking either. Like, when I say this is one of the hardest things to do in any combat simulator, it really is. Like, this part requires so much concentration, and usually by the time I'm done trying to connect to this thing, my arm feels like it's about to fall off because of all the movement and the precise adjustments, and yeah, it's tough stuff. It's such small incremental movements. Alright, let's get in there. Nice and smooth. And you know, there's actual real F-16 pilots who have flown in this simulator, and they've said that flying this is actually 10 times harder than flying the real jet, because you don't have any depth perception in the sim, where in like the real jet you actually have that 3D depth perception and the feeling of the pit and the forces on the jet and everything else. So alright, let's concentrate and get this done. Come on, let's move up. Not that close yet. I think he's going a little faster than usual, too. Oh, there we go. Alright, fly through his jet wash. It's normal. Yeah, he's flying a little faster than normal. Come on, dude. Sorry if my hair is hitting the microphone, too. Alright, here's the critical part. Let's go.
Vapor 1-1, Camel 1-1, heads up. Tanker is entering turn.
Oh, you had to turn. Alright, well, we'll ride the turn out. Tanking in the turn is... yeah, I haven't gotten that good yet. Try to get close, though. Oh, let's not do that. Come on. Stable, stable, stable. There we go. Yeah, what I usually do is I end up having to kind of wait him out. And wait for him to come out of the turn. Eventually I'll be good enough like the other guys to where I can, you know, keep with him in a turn. Like I'm kind of keeping with him on the roll, but you can see that my pitch and altitude is all over the place. And that's what I have to refine, that's what I have to get down, and it's all just slight movements, and I just haven't gotten there yet. It's an arm workout, though, that's for sure. Alright. Come on, dude. You gonna come out of your turn anytime soon? Probably not. See, I'm actually in a good position. If I could actually get a little higher on him, let's see if I can do that. Let's get a little higher on him and see if I can actually get a pre-contact. Or a contact, clear contact, I should say. Oh no, that's not going to happen. So if I can get a clear contact, oh, he's going to straighten out. There we go. Come on. Oh, easy, easy. Balance.
Vapor 1-1, Camel 1-1, clear to contact position.
Oh, now you're going to give me clear to contact. After I have to do all that crap, put my freaking arm into muscle failure. Thanks, dude. Appreciate it. Alright. That basically means that we have the heads up to go ahead and move forward and let him slide his little boom into the slot to give me some fuel. Oh. Stable, stable, stable. We're good here, I just need to move her forward. Just ever so slightly. Come on. It's a little too far. A little too much. Come on. Even her out. Even her out. Come on. We're almost there. There we go. That's a good picture right there. Oh, no, no, no. I'll let off on the throttle. Come on. Good picture. Come on. So he's going about 305. Well. Maybe not, maybe like 300. I don't know, it seems like his speed's, it's like kind of moving a little bit. Yeah, his speed's like fluctuating a bit, but we'll get her. Well, right about here should be a good picture. See if we got a contact here. That's gonna contact. Got it.
Contact.
There we go. Alright, so now that my arm is nice and tired. What is it? List 2. Oh, let's bring her up. Then we need to put this up top so I see how much fuel we have. That's nice and nerve-wracking. And if you've never tanked before, you don't understand until you get in and do it, but it's fun. It's, you know, it's a good time. It's just, it's a lot of work and a lot of, you know, sticking with it. Like, there's a lot of people, I'm sure, would just be like,
Vapor 1-1,
oh,
Camel
of course,
1-1,
you're gonna turn, right?
Tanker is entering turn.
Okay, let's see if we can stick in a turn. Sometimes I can actually turn with him and be okay. So let's see if we can do it. We're at a good speed. Alright. Easy. 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 Oh, come on. Come on. Easy. Easy. Oop, 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 oop. Come on. Oh, that's getting bad. Come on. Come on. Keep with him. Keep with him. Come on. Oh, that's going to go up too high. Keep with him. Nope, nope, nope. Nope, 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 nope. Let's stay. Let's stay. Let's stay. No disconnecting. Come on, you jerk. Yeah, I know. I just want to get 10,000. We're going to disconnect. Oh, we're so close. Keep in there. Keep in there. Keep in there. Alright, we're good enough. We're at 8,900. Let's Y3 it. We'll let our wingman get
Camel
some.
1-1, topped off and ready to go.
Alright,
Roger.
we'll slide off, get off
Vapor
his wing,
1-2, Camel 1-1, clear to contact position.
and we're going to shut our fuel door real fast. Whew. Tanking in a turn is a hell of a lot harder than one may think. So, if you're judging me right now, go for it, but don't judge too hard until you actually do it. I know a few people that have done it and would still judge, but... Alright, concentration level isn't as bad now, so... Oh yeah, my wingman's a show-off, of course. So I can actually respond to chat at this point. I don't know, I stuck with it. I think I stuck with him about 30 seconds, 20-30 seconds in a turn. I've stayed with him longer before. I've stayed with him for about 60 seconds. We've got enough fuel to make it back to base. Now we form up on his left wing. No, I noticed that we had a couple other viewers too, so I was thinking maybe a couple of my buddies in the wing may have joined. And you know how it is, like virtual military, we're always razzing each other, so. That's a good picture right there. Let's do print screen. I want that, a couple more. It's a nice picture. Stalker, my IP would be proud of that right there. Oh, falling back. Check our fuel state, 8,800. Alright, we're good. Formation flying is kind of tough too. Like, it does require a lot of concentration, but unless you're like when you're fueling, that's when like it takes a lot of concentration. Like you have to be solidly concentrated on just that task. Formation flying isn't as bad, as you can see. I don't have to do that much. It's just getting connected on that boom. Oh, we're going a little fast. Another good screenshot. Oops, wrong one. Are you gonna empty his tank, dude? Come on, hurry up. Arm's getting tired here. I think my wingman is trying to empty the tanker's bladder here. Something. Oh, dude. I'll get an outside view. Sorry for the noise. We're actually further away. Could be a little closer. Let's drop in there. How much fuel are you gonna take, dude? Can you drain them dry? There you
Camel,
go.
1-1, fueled.
Now you're gonna turn.
Roger.
Okay, this is when we strip off. Tanker's gonna take a descent or an ascent pattern. We're gonna stay nice and level. And I think we have to go to steer point 5. Uh, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think it's 5. Alright, wingy, let's go. Just a short flight tonight. Gonna get back to home plate, we call it. There's my wingman. Because tanking takes it out of you. Yeah, and what's funny is usually tanking is one of the last, or yeah, one of the first things that you do in a mission. You'll fly for a while, and then you'll tank, and then you'll actually do your mission. Or even worse, you'll go and hit a bunch of targets, and then you'll go tank, and then you'll hit more targets, and then you go home. And it's like after tanking, at least myself, I'm worn out. Like I'm ready to land and take a nap. But for the fun of it, we are going to do some BFM, which is called Basic Flight Maneuvers. And the first one we do is up, over the top, over the side, confusing the wingman, and down with a barrel roll to the side. I love doing those. A true barrel roll, like a lot of people think that a barrel roll is just... Here, we'll line up on my flight path marker. And I'll show you what a lot of people think a barrel roll is. There we go, nice and lined up. A lot of people think a barrel roll is just doing one of these. Spin, 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 spin. That's not a barrel roll. It's actually, I mean, it is a barrel roll. Like, it's an inline roll is what they call it. But an actual barrel roll, let's see, we'll get lined up. This is an actual barrel roll. I know it looks different, but you notice one thing? I stayed on path. You notice my flight path marker is still right on and my altitude stayed the same? Here, watch, as I do it slower. We get up, around, and notice my flight path marker is right dead center still? That's a barrel roll. An inline roll, you go all over the place. You don't know where you're at, and by the time you come back up, oh, look at that. Your flight path marker is way over there to the left, because you're not in reference anymore. So, barrel roll actually looks different in the sky, too. Then you can go with the things that they call my wingman's getting pissed at me here, but you go with things like what they call a 6-point roll, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It's a smooth roll to the top. That looks pretty sweet from the outside too, I'll show you in a sec. Alright, lined up and stable. Alright, let's do the 6-point roll. It's going to be a little loud. 1, 2, 3, pushing up, 4, 5, and 6 for the 6-point roll. Another one that's fun is what we call the Immelman. This guy. Alright, we're going to nose down. We're going to drop our speed.
Altitude. Altitude.
And then we're going to bring our nose up. Raise our speed. We want to keep below 5 Gs. And the Immelman basically takes us right over the top with a nice horizontal sight picture. And then we flatten it out. We're now heading the opposite direction. And you saw the split S earlier. I'm going to slow this one down. We're going to do another split S to get us back on track.
Altitude. Altitude.
And back on track. And if my wingman did it properly, he should be right back lined up with me. And there he is. Flight maneuvers are a blast. They look boring, but they have their uses during combat. Oh, let's see, what are some other ones? Oh, hearts. Yeah, we're at 10,000. This is what's called the Hearts maneuver, or the high altitude. Sure. Recovery. Oh, I don't want to mess the other two up. HAR, high altitude recovery transition from stall, I believe. I don't know for a fact though. I'll have to ask my instructor pilot again. This one is fun. It's actually A lot of people don't like doing these, apparently, but I actually really enjoy them. So we're going to get down to 10,000 feet. This is basically testing your ability to fly the jet really slow. Okay, we're at just about 10,000 feet. 450 over. Let's go ahead and slow her down. Okay, there we go. We're right at
Altitude.
10,000.
Altitude.
There we go. We slow her down to 350. Our wingman's going to go nuts on this one. We'll slow her down to 350.
Altitude.
Oh,
Altitude.
now we have to speed up. And this is the high altitude recovery. So it's like if your plane gets in a stall, you have to know how to recover it. You have to know how to take care of it. So, here I go, like, I keep going over and under the speed. So let's get ourselves to 350. Here we go. Right about here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to crank up on the throttle, and we're going to go full mill power, which is like full speed basically without afterburner. And we go up to 60 degrees, and we basically just hold it there. Hold it at 60 degrees until the plane stalls. And there we go. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pull it over. Turn over. It's going to look like we're going into a flat spin. We actually don't. We turn over. Speed up. Turn in. And roll out.
Altitude. Altitude.
And that's how we recover from a high altitude stall. And you notice we're right about the same altitude that we started out as. So that's if your jet gets low and or like high and slow, like, you know, you get into a situation where you think your plane's going to stall, or you get into that situation, you have to know how to recover. And a lot of pilots will go below the hard deck and crash. But not if you know what you're doing. It's all part of the training. Oh, my wingman stuck with me. Look at that. Alright, we're basically on our way back to home plate, which is home base. Let's see how much fuel we have. 71. We'll click in, make sure we're good. We're going to call for the QNH.
Vapor 1-1, copy.
Vapor 1, Kunasan approach 3067.
3067. Copy, Kunsan approach. Kunsan approach, package of 2, inbound, runway 36. We'll get landed here. Now, the landing we usually do, or the approach we usually do, is what we call an overhead brake. And an overhead brake is, well, here's the runways over there. An overhead brake is essentially, we fly down the runway heading, and we brake right over top of the runway, and then we come back. So we'll do an overhead brake. It's combat landing. Go ahead and bring the speed down and start coming in for approach.
Altitude. Altitude.
The airport is actually right there. You can see the guide lights. So that steer point, or the waypoint that we were just flying to, basically brought us right to it. And we're usually going to stay pretty, we're going to stay pretty high and pretty fast while we're coming in on the approach. And then we're actually going to brake Alright, so I'm going to tell my wingman... I don't know if I can. Let's see. Yeah, go trail.
Vapor 1-2, go trail.
Because we don't want him slamming into us.
2, going trail.
Alright, so we're actually going to take this probably about 500. But the reason we do that is because we actually slow down over the runway when we actually do our brake. And as we're doing our initial turn too, actually. Get us nice and lined up here. Oh, that's a pretty close trail there, dude.
Vapor 1-2, kick out. 2, kicking out.
You want to kick out if we're going overhead brake there, dude.
2, in position.
Alright, he's back further now. Alright. So it's not critical that we be directly over the runway. I mean, I'm going to be a little bit off center line, but roughly 3,000 feet. I'm going to stay fairly fast. We generally want to wait until we get just past the halfway point of the runway. I'm going to start my turn. And red tail 1-1 on the brake. And this is what slows us down, gets us ready for our landing. You also notice that we descended. I'm just keeping my idle, or keeping my throttle just above idle. I extend a little bit, just so I'm not too close in. Red tail 1-1 is perch, inbound runway 36. Gear down 3 green. I should check to make sure we're 3 green. No, I went a little narrow on that. Oh well. Lally, welcome back. Thank you for joining. Catching me right at the trail here. Just doing a quick landing in Falcon BMS. Okay, we're on a nice approach. That's a beautiful sight picture right there. That's what we want to see. Bring her in a little closer. There we go. Get our angle of attack up. There we go. Right about there. Okay.
Vapor 1-2, inbound for landing.
Good landing.
Vapor 1-2, inbound for landing.
Vapor 1-1, Kunshan Tower. Next time, wait your turn. Good afternoon. Vapor 1-2, Kunshan Tower. You are number 1 to land. Check gear down.
The reason we let it roll like that is basically the whole front part of the airplane becomes an air brake, essentially. That's the whole point of the F-16, doing that high roll. So whenever you see an F-16 land, if you ever see them staying way up in the air, they're not showboating, they're not showing off. That's actually something that they do. They use the aerodynamics of the plane and the drag of the plane to slow them down, because the plane is usually going so fast that they have to find some way to slow them down. So that's exactly the reason for it. Alright, we're going to go into the hot pit area. Oh, back to the roots. It feels good to actually be back in my original, the original sim or game that I played when first starting to stream on Twitch. It really does. And you're going to see a lot more of this. You know, I know most of you are used to like GTA 5 and stuff like that, but I'm going to mix that up. We're going to do a mix of combat sims,
Vapor
back to the
12,
roots.
descend to 2,000, maintain 200 knots, turn right heading
Okay.
260, vectors to final, runway 36.
He was on an overhead brake. He should already be landed, lady. Alright, we're a little misaligned. But Falcon BMS is, it's what I learned on, or it's what I first started streaming with. And it's only right to get back to the roots, so we'll still do, obviously, GTA 5 and all that, but now that I'm back in a wing and a squadron, we're going to do a lot more flying, which is awesome. Alright, excuse me 1 second while I move the microphone back up to proper position, because it was technically...
1-2, on final.
Oh, sorry. Lots of
Vapor
noise.
12, turn right to final approach course 355, check speed.
My microphone was actually up above my head. When I fly, I have to have it up and out of the way, so it doesn't interfere with my head tracking device. Alright, 911. Emergency, what's the emergency, Lily? Alright, let's get my wingman in here. Did I turn my parking brake on? I must have, I'm not moving. Alright, let's install the chocks.
Vapor 1-1, copy.
We're gonna go ahead and shut down. We'll open our pit. Watch for our wingman to come flying in.
Good afternoon. Vapor 12, Kunsan Tower, cleared for landing, runway 36, check gear down.
My wingman doesn't talk very much. Let's see if we can see him. There he is. No pressure, dude. I don't have a body. Yeah, no, I technically don't. Yeah, here I do, or I should. Yeah, he's got a body there. It's just I don't have the model installed. Like there's a way to install the model, but if you mean like my pilot, there's a way to install like to where you can see the legs and stuff like that. No pressure, dude. Nice landing. There you go. That's how it's done. Except he set his nose down really fast. That's not a proper F-16 landing. F-16 is supposed to roll out with that nose super high. We'll wait for him to pull up, and then we'll shut the sim down, and I'll say my sayonara's for the night. Yes, after a long flight, well, actually not even that long of a flight, but after tanking, I wear out, and it's about that time. I have to be up early during the week, so can't mess up the sleep schedule. If I do a train, I don't think my instructor pilot said that he can't fly tomorrow, but a couple of my buddies, or at least one of them, said that if I wanted to do some flights tomorrow, he's open for it. So we'll see if Hammer wants to get in and do some flying tomorrow. He's a really good guy, and he's taught me a lot in Falcon BMS. So if you want to see some flying with other people like human players, then tomorrow might be the day. Either way, I'll post it on Twitter, or I will come on here and post in chat a couple of times. There's a wingman. Is he actually going to park next to me? Okay, see ya. AI. They don't know what they're doing. Alright, so as my wingman just kind of like taxis on there, he's like, the hell with you, dude. You put me through the ringer tonight. I'm done. I'm going to my parking spot and going to bed. Alright, on that note, I'm going to go ahead and do the same myself. I want to thank you very much for tuning in tonight. I know Falcon BMS is definitely different. It's a different kind of game, and actually not even a game. It's a simulator versus, an actual game. So, and it takes a lot to get into it. You basically have to know. Well, here, let me show you a little bit before I leave. Each and every single one of these buttons. See how it turns green? Yeah. Each and every single one of them, they actually work. Every single one. So, yeah, even this one down here. Even that one. Watch this. Yeah, the ejector seat handle. That works. Oh, look. These little guys here. Yeah, those even work. So, literally each and every single button, well, except that one. That's a real life thing that you can't implement. But each and every single switch in this whole cockpit, and you can see there's a lot of them. Each and every single one works. So, whoops. It takes a little bit to learn this thing, and the systems are modeled to 100% or 98.9% I would say accuracy. The only way I can actually show the rest is start her up for a sec. I'll show you the system. Get her up to 20%. There we go. Come on. There it goes. Okay. Alright, so each and everything in here, I'm going to hit the list button. That's a computer. And each and every single thing on this computer works. So if I hit number 1, that's my destination in a direction. If I hit return, it goes back. I can hit list. Number 2, that's my bingo, that's my fuel state. I hit return, it goes back. List, so on and so forth. I mean, I could do this for hours. If you're interested in Falcon BMS, this is literally like, this is my home. I have been into flight sims or combat sims in some way, shape, or form most of my life. And so if you want to kind of get to know like what the original games were that I got into to begin with, you can find out by looking this one up. It's called Falcon 4 BMS, or just Falcon BMS. I don't know why my flight control is all messed up. It's where, like, my bit test is all screwed up. I guess it's still... something happened there. I don't know what I did there, but anyways, You know, Falcon BMS is something that I've like, Falcon 4.0 at least is something I've been in for a long time. You know, just learning again, I'm having to go through everything all over because this is not one of those games where you can get out and then get back in and everything is back to normal. But if you want to know more about it, actually here, I will go ahead and I will send a link so that you can check it out and see what it's all about. Let's see here. Okay. So, we'll send this to you. That's the Falcon BMS forums. It is a free program. However, you have to have the Falcon 4.0 EXE. And the Falcon 4.0 EXE, it's really not sold much anymore. But it's the Falcon 4.0 game was a game from way back in the day, and a lot of us had it, and so therefore we've had it sitting around. However, some of us, because we were stupid and we threw out our keys and we threw out our game and everything, we actually were able to buy it. Oh, now my FCR decides to come on. I don't know what's going on there. There we go. CRM. Huh. Yeah, I screwed. There we go. Now we're back to normal. Check FCR control page. There. CRM. There we go. Anyways, some of us threw out our games and everything, and so we had to buy the EXE all over again. You can get the Falcon 4.0 EXE. You can buy it from, I think it's GOG, like Good Old Games, for like $5.99. It's like $6. It's worth every penny because you get this, like you can install Falcon BMS as soon as you have the Falcon 4.0 original EXE. And this is a 100% modeled sim. So everything that you see here, you're able to fly the jet. It's actually what they call a study sim. You actually have to study in order to learn how to fly the plane. And yeah, if you want to get into it serious, you have to buy a whole bunch of hardware for it to, you know, work out properly. But you know what? It's worth it in the end. It's a lot of fun. You get to fly with some great people, and you actually get to learn some pretty cool things. You know, science as far as like the actual lift and drag properties, physics on a plane. You know, how combat sorties work. You also learn like what armaments, you know, what weapons you would use in certain situations. Air to air, you know, you learn what the hard deck is. You know, I'm going to spit out some what we call brevity, some terms that you'll hear in common air to air, like, you know, during a dogfight or a bombing run, and you'll learn what, you know, like what AIM 120 is, or you know what it means to say tally visual on a hard lock target. You know, things like that. You know, it's kind of fun stuff. So, you know, I am kind of marketing here the BMS title and the actual Falcon 4.0 sim. I hope that you do check it out, and I hope that you get into it because it is a lot of fun. Plus, on top of that, you'll join an elite group of pilots who absolutely love to fly. And even better yet, if you learn how to fly Falcon BMS, you will more than likely be on stream with me, because I will invite you to fly along with myself, because I absolutely love flying online. So, therefore, on that note, I'm going to go ahead and one more time shut down the jet, open the canopy, and say, from 414th VFS, Cadet Scorpion, I shall see you on the flip side. Thank you very much for tuning in. I do greatly, greatly appreciate it. We'll see you probably tomorrow. Have a great night.